From celebrating 3 state championships as a Rebel in the late 90s to now officiating the biggest football game of the year, former West Monroe and Louisiana Tech quarterback Max Causy has been selected to serve as a down judge in Super Bowl 59. Causy will only in his 3rd year as an NFL official and already reaching the pinnacle of the profession. Maxie started out high school as a high school official before moving on to Conference USA and the Pac-12. Super Bowl 59 kicks off from the Superdome February 9th.